Time to start a new project, and I'm going to try something bigger than anything I've ever made on my lathe before. I'm going to try making this floor vase. It's going to be 36 rings, 24 segments to a ring, so that's 864 pieces. And then if you count the base, which is going to be a solid piece, it'll be 865 pieces. At the widest point here, it's going to be about 13 inches in diameter, and I can do 14 on my lathe, so that gives me just enough room to get the segments on there. And I'm going to use pecan for my base, and my rings I'm going to alternate with red oak, white oak, cherry, and pecan. And we'll see how it turns out. Now that I've got all my wood planed down to 3/4 of an inch thick, it's time to start cutting it in strips to make our segments. And each ring has a length, like this ring 36, it needs 33 inches of strips. So I added all these lengths up for a total. I need 1,457 inches of board, or 121 feet. So we'll start cutting, and hopefully we have enough wood here. I've got all the wood cut out. Here's cherry, pecan, red oak, and white oak. So now our strips are cut. We can start making some segments, and I'm going to have 36 rings, 24 segments to a ring, and they will fasten onto this base here. This is like a 9-inch base, and it's going to be 28 inches tall, so it's going to go all the way to the end of the lathe. And the way I'm going to attempt to try it, I'm going to glue about 6 rings on. I'll finish the inside, round up the outside just enough to get it round, and then I'll put another 6 rings, and I'll continue on that pattern until I get to the end. When I get to the end, the inside will be finished. Then I'll go back and finish and reshape the outside. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Had to make a little change to my previous plan. As you can see, I only have 4 rings added. What happened was I didn't turn this ring down much so I'd have more area to glue. Well, my tool rest doesn't stick up in there far enough to get 6 rings plus that one and maybe a little part of that one, so I'm going to have to go 4 rings at a time, and that's getting pretty close. But we're starting back down now. We're going to start going smaller now, so we're in good shape. So I'm going to get this turned down on the outside, and then I'm going to do some modification on my steady rest because it won't fit under there. So I'll show you what I do after I get it finished, and we'll turn the inside after that. Well, here's what I did. I took the roller part off of my other steady rest that I made, and I made this bracket out of 80/20, and I drilled and tapped 2 holes into the side of my lathe here to mount this bracket to, and I've got one on the front and one over here on the back, and it looks like it might work. So let's turn it on and see what it looks like. I think that'll work. So let's get on the inside and do a little turning now and see how it does with the vibration.